Filled with Kind of Punch Boxing News. And I am live for the reflection of the upset of the quarter. Let me, Moore's Murders Clues comes in with his news. Zhang is looking for Luke. My money is on Zhang inside 6. Wow. Good evening, Kurt. Let's go. Absolutely. Slowest Pieka. Sup, Kurt. Peace. Paul Brown. Dear, dear Joe, dear Big Joe, no excuses. You were a beaten man before the fight started. It was very clear you were outmatched. At one part of the fight, you looked like you were going to get KO'd. Sleep. Paul, he hasn't made any excuses. Why rub it in the man's face? That is true. I just dropped a video before I went live that Joe Joyce didn't have any excuses to make. No, he didn't. He didn't have any excuses to make. I think Joe took his loss like a man. He was a good sportsman about it. He congratulated Zhilei Zhang on his win, and I think that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you get respect. That's how you keep your fan base. So if you act like a diva, or if you act like you're in denial, or if you make excuses and you talk a lot of stuff about, it was somebody else's fault besides your own. A lot of people are going to see that as an excuse, as a person that doesn't like to face reality. Okay. Boxing fan says China Power, nobody would want to touch that now. I don't know. I think, see, this is what happens. Like, I remember Roy Jones Jr. was talking about this last week. He mentioned that the best need to fight the best. So the biggest or the next uproar in someone claiming to be one of the best, when they do something dramatic, when they do something worth mentioning like Zhang has, I think it needs to be an automatic reckoning with someone needs to come forth and challenge that person. See, everybody should be wanting to fight him now. Faisal Hamid says Joyce should get Wilder's trainer and blame him. You guys are a trip. People say Wilder KO Joyce, which seems very possible. Well, I mean, it's Wilder though. Wilder's a lot faster than Joyce. Wilder doesn't, I mean, now, a lot of it, and it's crazy. People have to see someone get defeated to believe that now. Before they were like, oh man, we don't know. Maybe Joyce can take the punch, blah, blah, blah. But now, since we've seen him hit several times and swole up and buckled and the fight was stopped and everybody's like, oh man, Wilder would have just KO'd him. People are a trip. They never amaze me. Joyce's strategy of offering his chin as a target caught up with him. Bill coming in with that. Member! Joyce's skill set is poor and he got exposed. He is far from being a champ. Joe Joyce, Deontay Wilder, in particular, they both had flaws in their game. Can Joe Joyce be a champion? Yeah, he can be a champion. He just needs to protect himself more. Zhang was Jackie Chan with that left hand last night. It was a dude, man, that was out there. I don't know if that was his family or whatever. I was like, man, that dude looked like Jackie Chan. Especially Jackie Chan now, because, Jackie Chan's kind of gray. He wears glasses and shit. Skrilla 50, what's up, brother? Kind of punch to you. XK shots. Joyce should have learned not to use his face as defense. Took too many punches, man, and really that's going to, you have to look in the long haul, and this is just his 16th pro fight, and he's taken some punches within that time frame. You know, you have to look at longevity. And it's bad for Joyce because he was almost there. He's 37 years of age. Can he bounce back from that loss? Yeah, he can. But then, who should they put Joe Joyce in there with? Because now they've seen a possibility. They've seen a possibility of Joyce possibly getting swollen up. They see now that's an option. They didn't really even think about, well, what if his eyes swell to the point that the doctors stop it? Nobody thought of that. Everybody was worried about Joyce's chin. And let me say this for the record, okay? To counterpunch everybody that now doubts Joe Joyce, understand Joyce's chin didn't give in. Yes, he was buckled, but was he stopped? No, he wasn't stopped. It could have been stopped had Zhilei Zhang attack rapidly and land a lot of shots at one time, because again, British refs, bro, they're the weakest. They have the weakest stomach. They don't have the stomach to be real true refs, a lot of them. I think they all kind of, it's almost like watching two girls fight or something. These are two guys that are trained to do what they're supposed to do. They get paid for a living to do it. Who are you to come in and stop it just because, with your weak mind and with your small tolerance of looking at violence, because that's all it really is. You can't tolerate someone else getting hit. So then therefore the tolerance level is not up to the fighter, it's up to the ref. And I think that's shit. I think it should be, if a referee stops a fight, this is what I think should happen. A referee should stop the fight, look at the corner, and see if the corner is okay in agreement with that, especially if it's considered an early stoppage. Because what's happening, these referees are just stopping fights for any fucking reason. 1, 2, 3, oh, let's just stop the fight. He might have blocked 4, 5, and 6, got hit with 8, with 7, then 8, then missed 9, 10, 11, then hit with 9, and the referee will come in there. They'll just stop it. It's crazy. People saying Fury smokes Joyce, but styles make fights depending on if Joyce is okay. Plus, Fury don't have Zhang power. But Fury's quick, though. Fury's quick, just like Usyk was quick. You have to look at, like, speed is power a lot of times. But understand, Fury's not a southpaw either. And I think that was a big factor for Joyce. He didn't, like, how many southpaws have you seen Joyce fight besides Usyk? Think about it. Not many. I think Joyce's public perception of him being the Oliver McCall type Iron Chin man has gotten into his head. Maybe so. Big Wah coming in with that. Member! Boxing fan. People say Joyce is finished just because he took a risk nobody else wanted to. That's true. But I mean, it just shows you the more fighters, or the more credible fighters you face, more likely this is to happen. That's it. People, we don't see a lot of that in boxing. Half of these fucking guys would have 2 or 3 losses on their record if it was for them fighting competitive fights. Let's take an example in comparison to UFC. UFC, you get better fights, better quality fights, but guess what? You see a series of back and forth wins. You don't see a guy that wins all the fucking time and he never gets beat. That's bullshit, because that's not reality. It's not realistic based on the opposition and based on who's fighting. Because sometimes on a Tuesday night or this given day, this fighter can be better. And then that fighter can come back and avenge that. Look at Adesanya. Adesanya got knocked out by the guy he stopped. Okay, just bringing that as a comparison, okay? Because a lot of people don't understand what it is really like to really challenge themselves. They've been in there with guys that are injured, guys that are no longer good or at their peak. They're really, due to whatever the hell. They're not the same type of fighters. You know, and this is what happens. These fighters, they these especially these promoters, they pick from a pool of certain fighters that are no good. All like these fighters that they pick from are already and they're always compromised in some type of way. If you notice, just like okay, let me give you an example. Tank Davis undefeated, Devin Haney undefeated. Pitbull Cruz got beat by Tank Davis, but understand those guys are like the premier guys in the weight division, right? Who did they all fight? They fought Yoriyokis Gamboa. Yoriyokis Gamboa is 40 years old. But let's give you an example of what people do. They pick from a pool of fighters that are no longer on the top. They fight those older guys that once 3, 4, 5 years ago was really good, and they need it for the name's sake. But the names don't change, but the talent of those names does, because you do have like injury. King Mike Hall in the building. He said, "I will say for Joyce, he didn't go down once. He didn't." Mario Stone 78. Hello there. Rosie Mason. I have come to think that Joyce was stopped too early. I refer everyone to Castillo Corrales. Corrales' eye was just as bad as Joyce's, yet he went on to KO Castillo. Corrales was even knocked down. Corrales was knocked down a couple times. Rosie. Great comparison though. Yes, his eye was about the fucking same. Both of his eyes, really, to be fair. That fight gives me chill bumps thinking about that fight. Every time I think about Castillo Corrales, I get like something like the spirit. It's on me right now. My hairs stick up on my arms because of the way that fight formatted and it just evolved. How did that shit happen? Like, why? What did I just see? Could have been something like that. More likely, probably not. But then again, the difference between Corrales and Joe Joyce don't have knockout power like that. Let's just keep it a buck. Joe Joyce has thumping power, but he don't have a knockout power. But then again, this is the heavyweight division. That shit could have happened. But that's why I get on these referees. And stay tuned for tomorrow, because I got my first installment of Referees Review. Okay, so for the 100 of you guys listening, stay tuned for my Referees Review. Make sure you hit that bell icon, because there's going to be other videos coming out with it. Great videos, new stuff, new content all the time. But Referees Review, I want you guys to definitely review, okay? Because these referees are the reason why certain fights go the way they go, and there are reasons for it. Like this fight yesterday, that referee took Joe Joyce to the fucking doctor. Okay, the doctor wasn't just there like, hey, come here. No, the referee he saw that eye and he took that man to the doctor. But then again, Rosie, that's a good comparison, because you don't know what could happen in boxing. But the thing is it worth the sacrifice of losing a fucking eye? So I see pros and cons. See, I understand on both sides of the equation. I get it. So I'm not just trying to be this guy that, just let him go in there. If he dies type shit. No. Health is very important for boxers. You don't want to see Joe Joyce walk around with a fucking patch because he can't see out of his right eye for the rest of his life. You don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And if you do want to see that, I don't know what type of person you truly are. You know what I mean? You need to go watch some Kumite shit in some foreign land that they put together some fighters that fight to the death type shit. You do that. Good luck to you. JJ got work to do. Yeah, he does have work to do. King Richard, like Tyson, scary. Why don't he call out Zhang? Oh, 4G. I don't know what that is. But we haven't heard anything from Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is just chilling. I mean, he's on vacation. Like they say, Like Frank says, he's on holiday, so we haven't heard much from him. You know, uh, XK shots. Joyce's style is all about being the bigger man. Problem was Zhang was bigger. Well, um, yeah, I mean he's with a big guy. I mean, and that now you mention it, he has been in there with guys that are smaller, like Brian Jennings, he's a smaller guy. Carlos Takam, he's a shorter guy. Bermain Stavern, he's a shorter guy. Joseph Parker was somewhat of a shorter guy. He was shorter. So maybe it is just the size of these guys, yo. I mean, might I dare people? Might I dare to throw this in here at this point? I know it might sound a little premature or shitty, but I'm doing this because it's convenient. Maybe Joyce has a problem with people his size. Appreciate you, King Mike Hall. Yeah, smash that like button. We got over 100 people in here. Again, I'm going to say this. Maybe Joyce has a problem with fighters his size. Maybe he's better at beating up guys that are shorter. Joyce KO'd Parker, nobody else could. That's true. Joyce was slow with Zhang and Dubois. Yeah, that's also true. Does Joyce have enough time to rebuild and return? Bill, I don't think he's going to rebuild. I don't think he has that type of time anyway. I think he needs to tweak some shit. I don't think he needs to rebuild at all, or he may end up like Joshua, not really sure about what he's going to do at any given moment in the ring. You can't take away a fighter's instinct, because that's what he pretty much has. You have to tweak some things about him. He needs to put his fucking hands up, or change his defense a bit. Kurt, the chat during the Joe and Zhang fight was on another level last night. Wow. Well, it was for what we could enjoy because we had a hailstorm here last night. Again, I apologize. That shit had me so heated. I was really ready to throw my box, my my Wi-Fi box. I was gonna throw the whole modem out of the window because all I could see is you guys talk about, oh man, Joyce is hurt. Oh man, they got Joyce. Oh, he got hit. Damn, he's hurt. And I'm like, what the fuck, But MP, appreciate you, brother. Cashel 200. Joyce just looked totally underprepared from the first round. Awful. Didn't take it seriously enough. Cashel, let me tell you something. I questioned the focus of Joyce before this fight. I questioned that shit. Why did I question it? Because he was talking about everybody else. He was talking about people that were parallel to him. He was just talking about people that were parallel to him. Like, it was weird. Like, you're talking about Dubois getting a shot before you, Hrgovic getting a shot before you. I'm like, why are you worried about that? You're going to fight a tough guy that Hrgovic survived and gave a lot of people in their mind a gift decision by. So why are they on Hades Earth would you sit here and talk about those guys instead of worry about Big Bang Zhang? So maybe he did. I don't think he was focused on it. And I warned you, if you guys can remember, I said, Joe, you better stop that shit. You better worry about Zhang. You better worry about Zhang. I wish I would have pulled a Showbiz the adult last night and bet on this shit. Bet about $5,000. Joe versus White is a possibility. Losers retire. Yeah, that would be good, but that couldn't happen now. See, White needs a fight now, so it's off schedule. Zhang hits harder than Dubois. I don't know. I don't know if he does or not. I think it's because he comes from the left. It's different when you're fighting a southpaw. They're in a different stance. They're hitting you different. So A right-hander would hit you here. A left-hander would hit you mostly here. That's why the right eye of Joyce was closed. All boxers will be beaten. Even Usyk will be beaten someday. Well, Usyk can be beaten. He can be beaten. Will he be beaten? We will see. I mean, here's the thing what we should keep in mind. When you celebrate a fighter, let's celebrate the fighter's victory. But don't look too far into one victory. But some heavyweight waits till there are some weaknesses like his idol Gayweather. Oh well, that's Fury. I mean, that's just. And listen, let me. I was telling my dad this, about fighters. It's not just the fighters that do that. Okay, it's the promoters, it's the managers, it's the trainers. They strategically pick certain fighters for a reason. Some fighters they avoid like the plague. They avoid them. They don't pick fights with guys that you think Tyson would really wanted to fight Joe Joyce after that? No, he didn't. He didn't want to go anywhere near Joe Joyce because Joe Joyce was a guy that actually concerned him. The things that he did to Joseph Parker, he's seen himself within that defeat. He's seen a possible opportunity or alternative where he was defeated by Joyce because Joyce showed him damn, this dude could have actually beat me like that. I'm not going to go near him. He hit Joyce with some big shots and Joyce just kept coming. And that's how I'll tell you what, Big Joe, I'll give you an opportunity. No, he didn't. And Tyson Fury will be beaten someday. Bishop Desmond. If Tyson Fury gets defeated, it would be against someone that they didn't anticipate ever winning. The odds would be against a person that beats Tyson Fury. That's what'll happen. David Cummings. I agree with Dillian White. Joe got caught cold, but he was just not on his game because he has showed he can box against Daniel Dubois. He needs to box more southpaws and look to weight drained. David, I wonder this. I wonder what sparring partners that they have to prepare him for Zhilei Zhang. That's what I want to know. Shit, they didn't have any southpaw sparring partners? King Mike Hall. Joyce literally couldn't see those lefts after a while. His eye was completely shut. You know what, King Mike Hall? I don't even think that was the point. I think he couldn't avoid them anyway. Because shit, after all, he was getting hit before they swole, right? Before that eye swole shut, he could see that left eye, that left hand coming. He just couldn't do nothing about it. Joyce will have a sore face today. He was brutalized. Joyce will have a sore face next week. Can Joe Joyce still be called the Juggernaut after the performance, or does he need a new? No. He's still the Juggernaut. Kurt, that's the same thing I said about AJ and Usyk. Usyk was hitting, look, here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. Usyk called AJ with shots he didn't see. That shit does something to your brain. Fury has slowed down. He is come forward now. Plus, he can southpaw. He might see this as an opportunity now. He may. But if Tyson was a true badass, he would have fought Fury. He would have fought Joyce. He would have fought Usyk first. He would have fought Joyce after that. He would have fought Joshua or Zhang after that. He would have fought everybody that he possibly could. Because if someone's claiming to have mental illness and they need small goals, and he looks at himself as the best fighter in the world, you need to understand that if you're the best fighter in the world, another fighter is another challenge is a small goal. If you guys can agree with me. James Bash coming in with that cash. Peace, Kurt. Great fight. BK, where you at? Oh man, appreciate you, James Bash, coming in with that cash. Um, Fury has slowed down. He is come forward now. Plus, he can southpaw. Well, yeah, I already read that one. Cool, cool, cool. But no, I don't. But I think Tyson ain't gonna fight nobody like Zhilei Zhang. And if he does, he would get mad respect, and he should get mad respect for fighting Zhang. You know, I mean, he didn't want to avenge. See, if Tyson Fury wasn't a like if he was a stand up dude, that would be the very next fight I would have fought. I would have fought Joyce in December. Fuck Joshua. He just got lost. He got beat. I would have fought Joyce because Joyce was that guy that was everybody was like, damn, you see what Joe did to Joseph Parker? Did you see what Joe? You see what Joe did to man? He fucking ran through that dude, beat him up, then knocked him out. Tyson Fury, if he was anything like Ali, he would have took that fight. That would have been, it would have been called the avengement. Yeah, the avengement. Zhang exposed Joyce. He is too slow for Usyk and Fury. Usyk already showed us that. Boxing fan, Joyce gives away 6 rounds before he goes in and can't be doing that. And those disgusting judges, one had Joyce ahead. Damn, that is sad though. But that's why Zhang wasn't falling for it, you know. Zhang carried that weight well. Some boxers pile in the pounds and it backfires. Yeah, I mean, you understand, Zhang is natural. Joyce is a big boy. He's big, bro. I guess he thought that he needed to move and outbox, but you don't come towards a guy that outweighs you like that. That was his downfall. Bishop, can you expect Fury to take it? Nah, he has Char instead, and Zhang has 2 minutes to sign. Yeah, I would be really surprised if Tyson Fury takes that fight with Zhang. But Zhang, of course, we know has called out Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury ain't said shit. Tyson Fury ain't talked in shit damn near 2 weeks. Zhang was starting to gas out. Yeah, he was, and then that's when that fight would have probably took a turn. Because see, and that's how I predicted. I'm like, Zhang ain't got any energy, bro. That motherfucker's big, he's strong, but he's old. He's old. Joyce was unsteady on his legs from being of the fight. Rosie True, and that's when really started. You can't be doing that. Hrgovic might get a bit more respect now. Yeah, Hrgovic came out, as you guys seen. If you guys haven't saw my video on it, Hrgovic, he straight trashed Frank Warren. Kurt, what goes around comes around. Look at what Joyce did to Daniel Dubois and Zhilei Zhang did to the same. Adari, it's boxing. It's boxing, man. He using the fact he got a fake robbery to get some attention. Kurt, Joe Joyce needs to use the cross-arm guard to protect himself. That's exactly what I said yesterday in the live stream. The doctor said, how many fingers am I holding up? Joe got it correct, but he still stopped it. Crazy legs, that is true. Because they covered the other eye, because he couldn't be using it. Adar, to be fair, Dubois said that stuff about Joyce's mom, and he said he did not get beat up that bad when he did. Yeah, he fucked Dubois up. Dubois was talking shit. Dubois needed that, though. He needed that humbling, because Dubois was starting to get out of his character. Everybody was focused on Joe Joyce's punch output. They forgot to look at the percentage of which he lands. Skrilla 50, the best referee in boxing right now is Steve Willis. I like Joyce, but though I'm no expert, it's clear to me that Zhang beat him up. Hell yeah, he fucked up him. He fucked him up bad, bro. I mean, like that left couldn't stop. I was like, ugh. You know, I saw it again last night. And yeah, it was something to see. And the fact he loses rounds before he wins, Cincy, Joyce is just too slow. And just as Tyson Fury was tailor made for Wilder, Zhang was tailor made for Joyce. In similar situations, do you let them fight on or do you do a quick doctor review? Well, they should do that in the ring. They don't do that in, I don't know, man. They should do that in the corner, rather. Joyce needs to bulk up to fit his fighting style. It's just like Joyce's punches weren't penetrating Zhang like that. I mean, he caught him with some decent shots, but it should have been stopped. End of story. Joyce is too slow. Oh, we already got that one. I take it that Fury versus Joyce summer fight will go ahead now. Come on, Joe. I'll still give you the opportunity. Fuck the Chinaman. Good luck with your eye, mate. Tyson Fury should just shut the fuck up. It is coming more difficult for him to redeem himself, and he is promoting a possible what's an NFT scam. Someone needs to ice out arrogant John. Yeah, John's talk a lot. He talks a lot of shit. He does. Fury will always take the easier fight. Yeah. He ain't gonna fight anyone worth a shit. He'll fight Wilder another. I'll fight Wilder for the 5th time. Man, how many times you gonna beat the shit out of Wilder? How many times you gonna do that? Because I heard Tyson Fury. I seen a video on Tyson Fury. He said this a while back. I may fight Fury. I may fight Wilder for the 4th time. And he's still calling you a cheat. Like, come on, bro. And I don't mean like a cheat, drugs use and shit like that, because he is a cheat. But for what he thought he did, he didn't cheat for what he thought he did. You got a guy guilty of 10 things, and then you claim you come up with 20 things that you think he's guilty of, and he's not even guilty of the 20 things. He's guilty of the other things that you didn't even mention. Joyce is too slow to be a true champion. I don't know about that. Look at George Foreman. George Foreman was kind of like that. AJ got the W, that what matters. Joyce's style is about having the toughest chin and the best engine. Nothing to do with his size. His style is similar to Ray Mercer, though Mercer was faster by far. Ray Mercer. Man, he almost killed Tommy Morrison. Almost killed that boy. St. Don, the worrying thing about Joyce is in the interview a week before a fight, he said that he ain't seen much of Zhang's fights. He should have. Zhang versus Wilder. That'll be a good fight. That'll be a very good fight. I think Wilder should stay away from him. Land that right hand. Line up that right hand. Use the jab. Shoot that right hand down the pocket. Stay away from those incoming southpaw counters. He should be fine because he should catch Zhang from a distance. I don't think he should engage Zhang. I see one thing I didn't see. We haven't seen enough of Wilder either to know what he will do in situations, that are questionable. We don't know what he's gonna do. Who wins, Zhilei, Zhang, or Andy Ruiz? I don't know. It's a good fight because, see, Andy's going to throw wide hooks. He's going to fight him inside. Good fight because, Andy's going to hit him behind the head a few times. And if the referee don't catch it, it's going to be, a punch from around the gods. Gave away too much stone weight. Nah, he just got beat up. Because I think he was in shape, to be fair. Warren didn't want Fury to fight Joyce. No, because he has them both. You know, and then you're the promoter. Why would you want that? You can outsource your fighters to make more money, not pin them against each other all the time. So you're saying Philip beating Fury by upset. Andrea Robert, greetings. Zhang was outright damaging his face. There was nothing he could do. It was Juggernaut versus Hulk out there. Yeah, that was crazy. Joyce paid the price for overlooking the man in front of him. He spent too much time talking about AJ, Fury, Dubois, and Hrgovic. You got to add them to it because that's all he talked about. Talking about I'm frustrated. Harry Travolta. Peace from Bonnie, Scotland. Peace to you, Harry. Trader. This is the number one Fury hating channel. Before Wilder fanboys, now they are fans. In time, you shall be. Before Wilder fanboys, they were fans. Compare the criticism of AJ and Joyce. Joyce is treated like a special boxer while AJ is being trashed. That's interesting. You cannot block punches with your face. Brazil thought the same thing until he woke up in Brazil from Wilder's punch. That's funny. Raymond DeMello, bro, why Tyson went into a coma? Is he in the Shaolin Temple? Practice for Usyk? There is no word like Dulce or Rabbit or bodybuilder. What the fuck's happening with Tyson? Raymond, I don't know. This is a very good question. Very good question. Usyk beat AJ at the sport of boxing. He outpointed him. He outpointed him is what it is. Zhang, big trouble for Luke. Best out there, Rosie. Hater. Mohammed Rihan. Kurt, there are 10 heavyweights that are world level. A few are elite. Usyk, Joshua, Fury, Zhang, Joyce, Wilder, Ruiz, White, Parker, and Hrgovic. King Mike Hall says, who is Luke? Luke is Tyson Fury. That's his real name. Daryl Alexander coming in with that Cinco. Joe in phenomenal shape, which begs the question, why didn't he choose to box? He just plodded forward, eating left hands all night. Hey, Daryl, that's right. I don't understand that. That's why I was like, oh, he came in weight drained. Heavyweights don't come in weight drained, bro. They don't. That's unheard of. Isn't Ruiz a southpaw with fast counters? No, he's not a southpaw. Colin, Joyce was leading with his chin. Hi, Kurt. How to connect with you? How can I connect with you? Boxing Bell. I got an Instagram, DeVille Kurt. Tyson Fury training hard for his next YouTube video. James Rudd. That's how Joyce always fights. He just keeps coming straight at you and hope she get tired because his engine's bigger than yours. Luca Mora. I don't hate Usyk, just think he's a hype job at heavyweight and he's to blame for walking away from Undisputed. Yeah, that's a title that I don't even want to talk about Undisputed right now. I've said so much about the Undisputed situation that I think I'd not talk about it today. Ruiz Jr. has great head movement, great chin and fast hands, a great engine. And he is bigger than than Joyce. Ruiz Jr. would beat Joyce fairly easy. I don't know. I don't know if he would beat him easy. That would be a good fight, though. Those fights would never happen, though, and Fury is not unbeatable. No, Fury's not unbeatable. Fury can be beat. Anybody can be beat. Chinese power. He's the Chinese Drago. Yoshido? 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 Luke Mora is still a champ, though. Yo, Kurt, hola, I called the result on your channel last week. Everybody hyping Joyce, but in reality, he has only faced Parker of credibility. Takam nearly beating Joyce. Michael McIntyre, counterpunch to you. Brian Jennings was okay back in the day because Brian Jennings has a good resume, actually. He fought Vladimir. He fought Luis Ortiz. He fought Joe Joyce. He fought a lot of good fighters. Tough Philly fighter. Hey, Kurt, I want to see Battle of Cyclops next. Joyce versus Dubois. I don't want to see that shit. And I don't even think that fight should happen for a lot of reasons. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. That looked weird. Loved watching Talk Sports boys react to their juggernaut getting bounced. Yeah, them cats there, they were disgusted. They were sad. Slow Joyce. Ruiz Jr. doesn't move his head. He does in times. He does. I mean, but he only moves it when he's about to throw shots. If he's back away from you, he's not a head mover. He's not a Mike Tyson or nothing. He gets popped in the face just like everyone else that's short, that's out of range. Should ask Josh how you think Joshua was able to come in and pepper him like that for 12 rounds. Dubois and Zhang are Usyk's mandatories. Who is Fury's mandatory? Andy Ruiz, supposedly. Fury should have lost to Odo. That's true. Well, it should have been stopped, therefore a loss. Yeah, because the cut came from a punch. Why did you call out the ref when he stopped it? It was a good stoppage. Ask Skip. Because the referee, it seemed to me at the time, the referee looked like he wanted that fight over with. But it was then I found out the doctor didn't tell Joyce. The doctor told the referee, and then the referee called the fight off. But what I didn't understand was he got everything right, so they shouldn't have called it off. Kurt, I believe Fury will be defeated if he stops ducking. AJ and Joyce suffered losses because they didn't duck. Albert Biaggi, that's everybody. Everybody will get beat, and then they would have to reassess themselves, and then they would have to see what do I need to do to either, if they got a rematch clause, to fight and beat this guy, Jackie Boy Johnson, yo Kurt, hope all is well. All is well, brother. It was a good stoppage all day, every day. Yeah, that I was through. I mean, look, this is the important thing we need to bring up. Joyce didn't complain about it, so why should we? Right? Do you also believe in Wilder's Glovegate thing as well or not? Who you? Oh, that's Luca Mora. Okay. I'm about to say, no, I don't believe in none of that shit. I think that's all a bunch of bullshit. Zhang versus Hrgovic 2 would be a good fight. and they both seem to want it. Yeah, I'm actually doing a video about that tomorrow. Stay tuned. Great. Kurt. Arslan Layev is a very good heavyweight prospect from Russia. Got a lot of guys, that are coming out. OG Tariq from Philly. Fury can't be no #1 if he don't fight Usyk, period. He ain't unified. No, he's not unified, and he's not undefeated, and he's not the best until he fights the best. That's true, my brother. Shout out to Tariq, OG Tariq. Joyce was gone by 3rd round. The ref gave him 6. He wasn't in the fight. No need to go 6 more rounds. That would have been irreversible damage. Well, I mean, he couldn't protect the eye. So I think the important thing is he was getting hit in the eye that he couldn't protect. And, for someone that's constantly seeing someone just getting hit over and over again, yeah, that's no good. Juice got losses because he loses to midget underdogs. Joyce was happy to just not take any more punishment. There needs to be a consistency with boxing referees. Currently, there is none. No, there needs to be a standard. There needs to be a standard with these guys. Fury is the #1 heavyweight on the planet. Unicat. He has to prove it. Gary Parker. Hey, Kurt, what's your thoughts on Ika Barabucci's comeback? I heard about it. I think, I don't, something? His legacy, I think he should be known for the greatest person or the greatest fighter that never was. I don't think he should come back at fucking 50 years old. He's 50 years old. Now, did he lose the weight? Yes. Ika Barabucci lost the weight. He lost a shitload of weight. He looks like an older version of himself before he got locked the fuck up for craziness that he got locked up for. But Ika Barabucci, I don't think and I don't feel that he should come back to the sport fighting these young cats. And I know that's what they're going to put him up against because they're going to hold him to the same standard they did in the late 90s, which is totally unfair. I don't think Ika Barabucci should come back. I know he has a lot of fire left, but then here's the problem with Ika Barabucci. We need to think about this realistically about Ike. Ika Barabucci has mental fucking problems. That's true mental health issues. Okay? He's bipolar. He's diagnosed bipolar. He's not someone just claiming, oh, my mental health. He's not doing that. This dude actually has fucking problems. Okay? So one thing knowing about bipolar activity or conditions, they don't want you to engage in a lot of violent interactions. Boxing is a violent sport. Shit, for all we know, he may be bipolar mixed with some form of CTE, right? Yeah, cerebral whatever damage, because he took some punishment in the Tua fight. That fight broke records, punch wise. All the stats were dude. It was a great fight, but it caused sacrifice, and it may or may not been the reason why Ika Barabucci just lost his fucking mind. He may go in there and get hit, and something may snap. He may do some Oliver McCall shit, or better worse, he may do some Mike Tyson. I want to fight everyone. No, man. I think he needs to paint. I think he needs to be our focus on non-violent things. And not saying that I don't think he can compete. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I don't want a man to self-destruct by reintroducing himself to a situation where it may or may not cause him to be farther gone or farther crazy than he is now. Okay, so Ika Barabucci, I loved him as a fighter. Personally, I don't know, too much about him besides what we read about him. I know he got 2 degrees while he was inside. I know he got out and they picked him right back up to for some other shit, and it was crazy. It was unfortunate, but I don't see at 50 what he can contribute. I mean, he's Mike Tyson's in them age now. You know what I mean? He's like, it's, yes, it's unfulfilled. Yes, it's misadventure. Yes, it's a lot of voided space, but him coming back now, you know, and then he doesn't have the reflexes. He doesn't have that now no more. And if he does, great. But I don't know. I don't want to see that. I just don't want to see it. Because I personally like his legacy 20-0, 15 KOs, no losses, no draws, no disputes. You know what I mean? He was a savage. He was a beast. He showed that he was one of the best guys, or probably the best guy at the time. This is a different time. This isn't a time of Tyson and Holyfield and Lewis and Tua and John Ruiz and Ray Mercer and Chris Bird and you know, Michael Grant. And it's not that time no more. That time is over. And I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to relive something that he missed, but it's gone. It's finished. So no. No. I don't want to see that. Hulk Hogan versus Joyce. Oliver McCall also used drugs. Yeah, I believe so. Believe he did. Ike versus Lewis. See, here's the thing. Okay, let's do this. Let's be fair about it. If Ike Barabucci is hell-bent on fighting again, let it be someone his own age. Fight Luis Ortiz. Fight Mike Tyson. That would fucking be big. You know, fight Lennox Lewis. Fight Evander Holyfield. Fight someone that's still calling themselves fighting that once upon a time fought. Right? Kevin Lopez, a Kurt counterpunch to you, brother. Counterpunch to you, Kevin. John Ruiz would have whooped Juice. John, the quiet man Ruiz. John had a weird style, bro. I mean, he was awkward. Ain't never going to be like the old school of boxing. No. UK and Europe owned the heavyweights for 30 years. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Usyk fan, nice shirt. Yeah, I got this shirt on the toilet one year. I think it was like last year before. And like, I got a bad habit when I'm on the shitter. I'm on the commode and I just order shit. And then sometimes I forget that I ordered. And then you see this package, you're like, what the hell is this? And then until you open it, you realize like, oh shit, I was on the crapper when I ordered this. Lennox Lewis, UK, Vlad, Europe, Tyson, UK, AJ, UK, Usyk, Europe. Oh, okay, you're putting them in. Okay. Barabucci is insane. He could get a gun and do something stupid if he hasn't got boxing to occupy his mind. Well, what is it occupying his mind now? He's out. If it was funny merch, I would burn it. Kurt, they should make an Ike Barabucci documentary or movie. I'm making one. I'm making that, and it's something that I'm definitely working on. And I don't just want to post any fucking thing and just let it out. I want to put some time into it, which I'm doing. Danny Williams got robbed of Klitschko. Isn't it a coincidence that both Dubois and Joyce have gotten their eyes swole? No, because they're in a sport that it happens. Goal hanger. Joyce would make a good cut man. Retire, son. Lewis, Klitschko, Fury, AJ, 30 years domination. AJ versus Usyk is the only mega fight at heavyweight. That's bullshit. Who told you that, Joey? Let me counterpunch you right there. You got a man. Okay, you got Usyk, Fury. You got Wilder, Joshua. You know, now those are the two big fights. Those fights are huge. And who's to know? Maybe Joshua and Wilder may be a bigger fight budget-wise, I mean, money-wise, than Usyk versus Tyson, especially when that shit popped off in the UK. Yeah, AJ versus Wilder is a huge fight. I don't know what that. No, I don't know what you're talking about, Joey. Well, this Zhang win opened him up to Bond villain roles. Uncle C. I gotta screenshot this and show it to him. Tariq Reed, OG. Don't ever call themselves OGs, young blood. You kids just don't know better. Where was Zhang all these years? No one heard of him before he fought Joyce, and he's 39. I've heard of him. Heard of him, dude. Zhang hit Joyce only with the left hand. The left hand has damaged a lot. Joyce, he was not able to avoid that left from Zhang. That's kind of weird. Kurt, will everyone duck Zhang? They shouldn't. They should want to fight Zhang because he's old. They don't know how many fights he got left. Clubber Zhang should be his new nickname. I'm Clubber Zhang. Clubber Zhang. Clubber. What, did you say Clubber? Clubber. Clubber Zhang. Joyce don't move his head, and Zhang almost left him dead. Man, that's funny, bro. That's funny. Some strange people said Joyce would walk through AJ and Wilder before knocking them both out. People should be fined for even thinking that. Philip Butt, honestly ask yourself this question, right? If Joyce wouldn't have got his ass whooped last night, would you have thought that? I mean, be honest. That's nothing you have to reply to me. That's just something you ask yourself. Okay, don't be surprised if AJ goes 12 rounds with Hellenius. Yeah, if he goes 12 rounds with Hellenius, man, you know Wilder would clown him. He would clown him. Somebody, it took me the first round to KO. And then the Juice and Jay, I think he was off the juice. I don't think he got no more juice no more. I think that's what's wrong with him. He getting fat like Jarrell Miller because he ain't got that triller. He ain't got that juice to go down his belly. That's what it is. Hey, Juice and Jay, why is it taking you all day to fight Hellenius? I hit him with one punch. Hell, I'm skinny as a beanpole. Hell, look at my legs. But look at this right hand. I'm the man that can put everybody ass out. You can't do it like me. I want to see you, A Juice and Jay, real soon. More body shots would have done it for Joyce. Bad trainers ate his perfect record. Yeah, I was wondering what Ishmael Solis had the nerve to talk about AJ, talking about AJ's done and this and that. I'm like, dude, your fighter, what did you tell your fighter when he was getting peppered with them lefts? If they do, it'll be too late. Kurt, AJ, and Wilder will never fight each other, man. That sucks, Kevin. Who's better, Adam Kalnaki or Franklin? I don't know. They should fight, though. I would like to see that fight. Why do casuals always talk retiring when a fighter loses? Some of the greatest fighters in history have multiple losses. I mean, because we're in a time where Floyd Mayweather destroyed the fucking sport. That's why. He had you thinking that if you lost, you're no good, you're not marketable because you've taken a loss. He has you thinking that, you will never be a fighter to a certain degree if you take a loss. That's why. Floyd has destroyed the sport and the perception of who fights and why you should fight, and then therefore why you shouldn't fight. That's why Floyd did that, because everyone wanted to be like Floyd, because Floyd marketed himself of never losing. Not that he fought the best and all that shit. No, he just never lost. And then people really equated, okay, well, if I never lose, that means I'm gonna have to fight people that I know I can only beat. That's why certain fighters and certain fights don't get made based on that, because they're like, no, I want to be like Floyd. I want to wait around to be like him, and I want to be undefeated. So since I'm undefeated, I could always sit around and say I ain't never lost. But I'm like, well, dude, you didn't fight this guy. You didn't fight that guy. You could have fought that guy when he was worth a shit. You could have fought that guy over there, and you didn't know. You didn't either. Helenius is top 20 heavyweight, and Wilder knocked him the F out. Meanwhile, Franklin was an unbankable club fighter before a trash can fight. Now Juice fans say he's a killer. Damn. I didn't know Jermaine Franklin was a killer. That's strange. I'm sick of the of the theatrics in boxing. What the hell is AJ doing fighting Franklin? I don't know. Ain't never going to be another Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd and Floyd Money Mayweather are two different people. Two different times. Rocky Marciano was undefeated. And he retired right before a wave of killers came his way, and he knew that. That's why he got out of Dodge. So I mean, but you see, Rocky Marciano wasn't around talking about he was the best of all fucking time and the TBE and shit either. So you have to look at what people do versus what they say. And he wasn't saying what he claimed to be. He just was a guy that never was defeated. Yeah, it still affects the sport. Floyd should have retired and became a pimp and pimped all the women out that he had at the strip club. I want you to get this money. I want you to go over here. This is Rockefeller's nephews. I want you to suck. I want you to fuck. I want you to do whatever you need to do. Like I said before, go get that money because I need money from you. Yo, Kurt, what boxers have you met before? Floyd, Devin, Frank Sanchez, Wilder, Thurman, Adrian Broner, Edislandi Lara, who else? Yeah, Floyd should have been a pimp. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm from Michigan. We got the best pimps, and I'm giving y'all some Michigan pimp game. So y'all need to go out there. I think all 5 of y'all are elite women. All of you are whores. I think you got the best head. You got the best doggy style action, and I think y'all should utilize your money because y'all are coming up short, and I need money from each and every one of you. So I want you to go out and get me paid. But see, by me getting paid, you getting paid. I know, right? No, I met him in New York. I met Wilder in New York City. It was brief. It wasn't like that, but yeah, I met him in New York City. But understand, this was probably in 2017. Yeah, now if I would have met Wilder in 18, yeah, he probably would have punched him in the face. You call yourself American and you from the South and you against me. You against me? I'm gonna knock you out. You a stunt man. I'm gonna show you what a stunt is when I knock your ass out. Kurt, get your boxer friends to sign stuff, then have competitions for us to win it. Yeah, that's like showbiz stuff, isn't it? Maybe one day. Joyce don't know how to defend. Vladimir Klitschko had the best defense, and his technique was amazing and footwork. No one could hit him. Yeah, because he'd jab you and fucking grab you. How can you? Bow! Ugh. You know, you get fucking hit with a super ass jab, and then you get a grab behind the super ass jab. We all should learn from the UFC record is for DJs, not for boxers. Absolutely. Boxing fan. Rocky Marciano maybe knew he was not the best ever. He said he retired for his family and body breaking down. Convenient when the beasts were coming. Yeah. But I mean, he also said that, hey, I won't try to make an attempt to come back to boxing because if Joe Louis, which is my idol, my mentor, the guy I looked up to, if he couldn't do it, I know I couldn't. That is the words of Rocky Marciano. So, Kurt, who would you most likely to meet? You haven't. Who would I like to meet? Roy Jones. I never met Roy Jones. Yo, Kurt, you ever fought someone in the streets and whooped them? Hell yeah. In street fights? Yeah, man. Yeah. Almost got in a fight last night with a dude and two broads. I was like a Tywin Booth almost. I'm undefeated, you know. Ask Layman Brewster, Corey Sanders, and Ross Parody about Vlad's brilliant defense skills. I don't know why Juice is using the jab and grab Klitschko style. The best heavyweights are behemoths now. I don't know what that means. My dad used to love watching De La Hoya and recently showed him the fishnet pics. Oh, man, you should have done that, man. You wrong for that shit, man. Kevin, you shouldn't have done that. That man was high, man. He wasn't Oscar. He was fucking Sophia at that time. The cocaine turned him into a woman mentally. You should have done that, Kevin. That's wrong. You know, Oscar was a different person. You know, Kurt versus Blue Blood. I'll pay to see that. No, I think it would be probably better for me to fight Tywin Booth than Blue Blood. I don't. Tywin Booth is what, in his 30s or something, right? I don't know how old Blue is, but I wouldn't fight Blue. George Foreman. Wow. Yeah, George Foreman. King Ryan ain't half of the golden boy. He just comes from Oscar De La Hoya's nutsack. I think that's Oscar's kid, man. I think De La Hoya, you know, gave birth. Not gave birth, Jesus Christ. I think he, yeah. I think Oscar De La Hoya is the biological father of Ryan Garcia. You are too big, too strong for Ty Booth, bro. No, I mean he probably gained some weight. But I'd fight him, though. I'd fight him. I mean, you'd have to pay me. Unless he, you know, like, start talking shit. We had a pub or something. I'm in UK visiting, and he was just, you know, I seen your videos, you know. I think you're a tosser, innit? You know, and then I have to say, what the fuck is tosser? You have to look that shit up. You know. I'm like, bitch, what you call me? I got your bitch. I got your bitch, you know. I got your bitch, you know. Usually people who wear fishnets can give birth. Yeah, usually. Yeah, usually. Oh, Booth is a middleweight. Oh, well. Well, I mean, he was a middleweight. I mean, he's probably walking around weight is different. Tom Booth is great. It's just that Americans don't understand British humor. Some do. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I listen to Tom Booth all the time. I mean, he has dark comedy. I get it. You know, Billy Joe Saunders, same kind. Billy Joe just does pranks. Tom Booth talks shit, you know. Michelle Hoare Phelps. That's why I can't say Michelle Joy Phelps, because I've heard him say Michelle Hoare Phelps so many times. So when I was trying to say it fast, I damn near want to say that. You know, when I run into Michelle, I just say, "Hey, Michelle, how you doing?" I don't want to say Michelle Joy. because I might say Michelle Whore Phelps because it's easier instead of Michelle Joy Phelps. You know what I mean? So nah, because he talked about her so much. Him and Coogan Cassius with his bit legs. Is there any heavyweight you would like to spar? Heavyweight spar? No. I don't know. Like I said, Americans don't understand British humor. They get all offended. Well, I think it's the temperament of certain people. And I don't think just Americans. I think a lot of times we, like us as Americans, we're not easily offended. We're short-tempered, you know. So maybe that's the same thing, but short-tempered, like, you know what I mean? Like like the tolerant level is not like, especially for someone that you don't know, maybe somebody you know, okay, is often sarcastic. Yeah. But because I'm sarcastic. But then if it coming from somebody that you don't know and they say something retarded, you got to kind of look at it like you don't know me. Because let me tell you guys what happened last night before I jump off of here. A friend of mine, very good friend of mine, called me to a bar. I was like, hey, Kurt, man, I know you're working and stuff like that. And, you know, hey, man, why don't you come up here? I'm hanging out with a couple chicks. They were two sisters, right? And I was like, he's like, yeah, man, you know, let's have a couple drinks. I'm getting fucked up at this place or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'll stop by if I'm not busy. So it got slow. So I started, you know, I called him like, hey, I'm headed over there. Now I had met these chicks before. Okay. And what ended up happening was like, when I first met them, they were cool. I didn't really even like, you know, I met them, but like we talked briefly or whatever. But when I got there, one sister's a lot younger than the older sister. The older sister was nice. The younger sister was she was real aggressive. She was aggressive. She was real mouthy. And she had a smart ass mouth. Okay. So, you know, she started saying some shit like, she said, oh, you're half a slick motherfucker. And again, I don't really know this girl. So what I normally do when I hear someone, especially like a female, that's real mouthy, I mostly distance myself before I say something to them, you know what I mean, that may create a further altercation or an altercation altogether. So what I did, I sat on the other side of her sister. So it was me, her sister, her sister, then it was her, then it was my homeboy. And it was a guy, an older guy wearing a cowboy. He was on the other side of me. And I really wasn't like in a drinking mood. So I was just like, you know, I had a drink, I had like whiskey and a Sprite with a lime. So I like that little lime to it, that little, you know. And she's like, oh, ain't that your first drink? Why are you babysitting that, you know? And then she's like, you're a pussy. And then at the time, I'm like, yo, and I looked at her and it really pissed me off because I like, sometimes, you know, you could say something to, you know, like you can catch someone off guard and they don't really think, they just react. And I reacted. So, and I was like, you want a girl that's submissive, not giving you attitude. Nico, yeah, I don't really like that anyway, unless it's just somebody I know, but I wasn't trying to get with her. Understand? I didn't know her. I wasn't trying to get with her. I'm not really attracted to her. It was just somebody that I was around because of a friend that was out with them. So, and I you know, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, well, what about your drink? What the hell are you doing over there then? You know? And like, here's the thing about me. When you're young, because she was a younger chick, I think she was late 20s, something like that. Uh, you have to be this. You have to have discernment of knowing like how a person's facial expression when you say something. If I said something fucked up to someone, or said something that may have been like offensive, I look at their tone. I look at their body language. And like if I see that they didn't like that, I know instinctively, let me fucking back off. Let me stop saying that, or you know what I mean? Like that's the respectful thing to do. That's like the cordial thing to do. Like, oh, did I offend you? My fault. I'm just having a good time. No, this bitch didn't do that. What she did was she was like, oh well, hey, yeah, you just being a bitch. Not no, she didn't say that. She didn't say I would have punched her then. I really would have fucking slapped her or something. Her and her sister. But it like what she did say, she was like, oh, you just being a pussy because shit, and I'm like, look, listen, I'm nobody's fucking pussy, first of all. And she was like, why are you getting aggressive? I'm like, I'm not getting aggressive. I feel that you maybe are getting, she said, aggressive. I say, yeah, you're getting aggressive, and then you catch people off guard for what you're saying. Because a lot of people, she was like, well, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm like, well, it's not fucking funny. And you're annoying. And then she was like, well, why would you think that? What are you getting an attitude for? I'm not getting an attitude if you say something to me that I don't like. I'm telling you what I don't like. That's what I asked her, Jackie Boy Johnson. I said, are you drunk? And she was like, no, this is me all the time. And then that's when she said, when she answered the question, am I being, I said, you're being, and she said, aggressive. Then she said, well, I never said I was aggressive. I'm like, you literally just said you were aggressive. I didn't say you were aggressive. You said that because you answered my question. And then like, I didn't say that at all. And then she starts fucking pointing. I'm like, yo, because my friend name is Brian. And she said, well, Brian, I talk to him every day, all the time like that. I'm like, I'm not fucking Brian. You don't talk to me any fucking kind of way. You don't know me at all. So, and then she starts pointing and shit. And then she gets up. And then my friend grabs her. And then the guy beside me, he's like, he says, man, she was really digging in your ass, man. What's going on with that motherfucker, dude? This is me all the time. Some people think being obnoxious is a badge of honor. It's exactly. And it's like they think, and like, here's the thing. Not everyone should play along with your fucking games or the things that you think that everyone should be cool with. Well, this should be cool with because I'm not really trying to offend anyone, but I'm offending some because that's the way I am. Well, see, that type of stuff bothers me because it's like, listen, you got a lot of living to do because you say that shit to the wrong person. You might not be around here, and it's just like and it got to the point where I'm like, I didn't get up. I was just talking to her. And she jumped out of her seat because she started pointing and shit. And I was like, so why are you pointing? And then she just got fucking pissed off. Kurt, you need to stop drinking alcohol, Kurt. Like me, you have the wrong personality for it. Alcohol causes aggression in some people. See, here's the thing though, Rosie. I wasn't drunk. And here's the whole point. The whole thing was I wasn't drinking like they were drinking. I wasn't even drunk. I was just taking a sip or two from that drink, and because they had some shitty whiskey there, because I drink top shelf shit. That's me. And, and it was like she was just constantly talking shit. Like, you're half a slick motherfucker. What are you being a pussy for? And I'm like, dude, what? I said, what the fuck's wrong with you? Are you drunk? And then she just like kept going on and going on. And like, yo, listen, you're fucking annoying. You're annoying the shit out of me. Go talk to Brian like that. I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm not trying to get with you. And then by that time, her sister that was in between us, the older one, she wasn't saying shit. A friend of mine told me that this morning. It was like, maybe she was just trying to, but like, listen, we're not fucking 7, 8 years old. I'm not going to push a motherfucker because I like him. I'm not going to do that to get some attention. I'm not going to do that. So it was crazy. Damn, that was a dig at Brian too. Yeah, well, but see, Brian was slamming her. So they, because he told me like, yeah, I just got through holing her out and all that, and I was like, well, that's cool. And then he was talking about the other chicks in there, and we got this handshake that we do, right? And she was like, "What are y'all plotting on?" I'm like, "Plotting." I didn't even give it any energy. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I think you don't talk to everybody that you think you know because you didn't know me. So then I ended up leaving, and I told Brian, "Dude, don't ever bring me around these bitches again." Because I mean, they weren't really pretty for one. I wasn't really there for that for two. It's just that my friend is so cheap that I know that this motherfucker doesn't always offer drinks. Yeah, yeah, skull, yeah, Scance Rants. I got a friend, man. I got a friend in Austin. Actually, it's my girlfriend's brother, and he's like this massive whore, and he slams all these chicks, and he always says that same thing, and it's crazy. He's like, "Oh man, I just hulled her out." I'm like, "Hulled her out," and then I brought that back to Brian, and they went to school together, so that's what he always says. So that's like the thing to say now, hull her out. Cat trying to preempt stuff. I lost my front teeth at 17 in a fight when I was drunk. Damn, Rosie, that shit. Sorry to hear that. Nah, I wouldn't see butthurt. I wasn't gonna hit her or nothing like that. If she would have came up on me, this is what I would have done. I would have shoved her. I wouldn't have slapped her. But this is what happens. She was short, so she was probably like this height. I'm 6'2", so she's probably down here. The problem is when you keep people from you, you have to push them. So if her head is here, and this is what people don't understand in altercations. If I push her, I would have to push her here. You know what I mean? If I pushed her here, it would be her face. But normally, if someone's coming at you aggressively, you don't let anyone near you aggressively. So instinctively, you shove them back. And a lot of times, it doesn't equate as a push. That's assault because it's touching them in their face. It's an open hand strike. So that's where it can get, yeah, that type of stuff. So, I mean, I don't like situations like that when you just got rude people, and you just think, oh, because I'm a woman, this won't happen to me. Like, dude, like I will do you like fucking Billy Joe dad, like that security guard did Billy Joe Saunders' dad. I will shove you to the fucking ground. You wake up dizzy, I mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. Rosie is my nickname, but I'm 5'10", 238 pounds, man. Oh, okay. Should have told her you'd haul her out if she does that again. Nah, I mean, I wasn't really into them like that. And I didn't come there for any of them, and because to be honest, I wasn't attracted to any of them. Pepper spray that skirt. Nah, I don't walk around with like pepper spray, but that would be some funny shit. Oh, son of a bitch. Dude, that's hilarious. Don't hit women, but if they violate you, demonstrate. Yeah, Tariq, yeah. I mean, because there's no reason to hit anyone. And I think in the world that we live in nowadays, okay, I think when you got people that believe in different genders or genderless or neutral and this and that, the last thing that people should be ragging on a guy for is beating up a chick, especially if the chick's like you have dudes that are actually competing in women's sports now because they feel they're a woman. And I'm like, how is that fair to women? So, no, I think people use that for like a conveniency versus that. I hit them in the behind, you know what I'm. You guys are terrible. Terrible, I say. But no, man, I like that just and it's normally like I don't bother people, so I just don't know how that would be the thing. Like no. So I got called Rosie on a building site decades ago and it stuck. Huh. Okay. Kurt handled it effectively. Well, I just left. And I just told Brian, I counterpunched him with, hey, man, don't ever bring one of these bitches again. And I left. And that was that. I went home, told my neighbor about it. We sit and we watched Joyce get mauled by Zhilei Zhang for well, we had some real whiskey because I came home. I was like, I need a real drink now. So, you know, Wicked Intent Semi coming in with that half a duh. Appreciate you, brother. Wicked Intent Semi in the building coming in with that love. Zhang made Joyce look human. Yeah, he did. He took his human or his mutant abilities from him. He sure did. He sure did. But yeah, it was an interesting night last night. Interesting night. Yeah, Joyce just needs more head movement. Well, yeah, he needs to, learn some parrying. He needs to learn, damn, at least one side, especially when you're dealing with someone in a southpaw stance. So he needs to learn how to move to his left to avoid the left. Because dude, he was just getting hit with the damn thing. Why Joyce thought it was a good idea to lose all that weight, that's why his chin was gone. Well, that happened to Andy Ruiz, right? Tyson Fury should change his name to Tyson Na, as he is a Joyce not intelligent enough to move his head down. How did you beat me? Mohanhead really makes great animated cartoons. Okay, cool. But yeah, man, Zhang taught Joyce that punches are not blocked with the head. Ebenezer Slaw. Fury should change his name to Bowie Fury. Bowie. I think that's disrespectful to Bowie. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you for stopping by. God bless you on this Sunday. Stay tuned for more content. I'll drop another one for the day, and then you will see more as time permits. Kurt, do you think Wilder can knock out Joyce? Yeah, I think so. I think he can drop Joyce, but it depends on where they're at. But MP, XK Shots, St. Don, boxing fans, Gold Hangers, Renee Padilla, Ebenezer Slaw, Olaf, Jackie Boy Johnson, boxing fans, Scants Rants in the building, Loreco Perez, Mark Hunter, Gold Hunter, Wicked Intent Semi. All of you guys have been counterpunched. Have a great Sunday and enjoy. Peace.